Hey, welcome to the first episode of the Hills Have Nerds of 2025. Today, we're nerding out about all the things we're excited for this year. We got stuff coming down the pipeline from all aspects of nerd culture. We got movies, we got games, we got books, we got tabletop RPGs, we got all kinds of things, cartoons, updates, whatever have you. It's coming at us, and we have some things that we're excited about. And we wanted to sit down and nerd out about them here at the beginning of the year and tell you all about them and talk to each other about them. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, and with me as always are four beautiful gentlemen, Aaron.
Hello.
Cody.
Hello.
Lee.
Hello.
And the effervescent Travis.
That's where you say hello, Travis.
I said hi. Did not pick
We
me
didn't
up.
hear you. We didn't hear you at all. Didn't pick up.
If you're on push to talk, you got to push a button before it'll,
I'm
work.
never on push to talk.
Maybe you could put some crickets in there, Travis, if you want
Yeah.
to. All right, guys, how we doing? How we feeling? We got another year of nerddom coming down.
Oh boy, another year of editing the podcast. Am I right?
Yeah.
Let me go get the chains for that one.
You guys give me so much to work with all the time. Just the energy you bring it's electric, really. I mean, it's
When have I
electric.
ever
You
brought energy to anything?
never,
Yeah.
never, Cody. You have been the one staple. I ask a question, tee people up, and I get met with, lethargic room temperature responses. It's wonderful. It's great listening. It's wonderful. We all pop like 6 Ambien before every episode. People just need to know that.
I just eat turkey dinners before.
It's all right. I'm sitting here in the dark.
I'm out of gummies, so I don't have an excuse.
I'm fighting this PlayStation to figure out why the HDMI is not working. So maybe my beginning of my year is going to be absolutely friggin' garbage. I buy a new PlayStation. We'll see.
So anyway, let's try this again. How we doing, guys?
Fantastic.
There we
Oh
go.
my god, I'm so good.
I'm
Ready
so
for this
excited.
new year, new podcast episodes, talking over people, being generally loud. Is that good?
I am the excite.
I don't know how anybody's ever made it through a fucking episode of this show.
Painfully,
All right.
probably.
There's the first one. There's the first one for the year. Anyway, this episode, we're talking about all the stuff that's coming down the pipeline in the nerdy environments we run in and all the different franchises we like to consume and what we're excited about. Anybody want to start us off? Anybody want to start off what's coming out this year? Something that's coming out that you're excited about?
Can let me and Lee tag team Lunar, the remaster.
Yes, you
Okay,
start.
let's talk about that.
Yeah, they don't have a release date yet, like an exact, do they? I looked it up on Steam just to see, and it just said coming soon.
I thought it was spring. I can't remember if it said spring or first quarter, but either way, it's
It
exciting.
may just say first order. Yeah, it's a game that came out in '92 on the Sega CD, and then Lunar 2 came out in '94, I think.
I think so.
Sega CD as well.
Yeah, and then it eventually came out for the PlayStation 1, and then it came out for the PSP, but we're getting the PlayStation 1 remaster, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think that was it, because it's supposed to include the animated cutscenes and I think the voiceovers in some of the cutscenes as well.
Exciting stuff, man.
The
Love the Lunar
official
series.
website lists spring 2025.
Okay, I knew it was this year, but I couldn't find that like an exact date.
This is the first time I've ever looked at these games because I've seen them kind of come and go at the shop or whatever. I've just looked at the covers. But this is the first time I'm seeing gameplay footage and stuff like that. This game is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
is
kind of the appeal to it. It's so
Yeah.
colorful. It's lovely.
Yeah, this would be right up my alley.
Yeah, if you like JRPGs, it is a fantastic one. Especially for the year that it came out, it was great.
Mhm.
So when did it come out? When did the original Lunar come out?
92, I'm wanting to say, on the Sega CD.
Did we talk about that in our history of JRPGs?
Yeah.
All right. So you heard it there. You can go back to episode 3, right? History of JRPGs, and hear us talk about the original Lunar for the Sega CD that 4 people owned a copy of.
Yeah, I don't have the Sega
Two of them
CD
are in this
copy.
channel.
I used to have both of them, and I sold them because I needed to pay off a credit card.
I have both of the PS1 copies right now, but I don't have the Sega CD ones.
Yep. So that's funny that you mentioned that. I was talking to Shelly about like things I'm excited about because I was thinking about this episode, because I was planning ahead, and I was like, I'm excited about this Lunar game coming out, but I was like, I'm also excited about a few other things which I don't want to spoil. But I was like, you know what? Most of the things I'm excited for are things that I already own, but a newer version. So,
Remasters,
Yeah.
remakes.
That's what this year's looking like.
I think
So-
that's okay. I think it's okay to be excited about a fresh coat of paint on, an older property.
oh yeah, I'm stoked
Okay.
about it, dude.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to bounce off of that since we're talking about remasters. One that I'm very excited about. I'm a huge fan of Bandai Namco, or I just refer to them as Bamco. I'm a huge fan of their Tales of properties. So games like Tales of
Ooh.
Symphonia, Tales of Berseria, Tales of Excelia, and stuff like that. One of my favorites that they ever released was Tales of Graces, which I feel like it came out on the Wii in Japan, and then we got it over here on the PS3, which it had some extra like DLC content built into it. But that's getting remastered for modern consoles, and I believe it's January 17th is the official release date for that. Very exciting. That is one of the better Tales of games, purely based off the fact that it's one of the most different. It had a different combat system. Rather than sticking to the traditional, you have a health bar and you have a magic bar. No one has a magic bar. Everyone has this thing. I forget what its real name is because it's been so many years since I played it. I think it's called the CC gauge. But basically, you start out at like a set number, but as you fight and as you like chain bigger and better combos together, the cap on that bar keeps going up. So your chains get longer and longer and longer, and you're able to unleash bigger and better attacks. And that applies to your magic users too. So your magic users basically have infinite magic as long as you can keep up your CC bar and keep that going.
When did you say this first came out?
It's a
The-
CC bar. Yep.
Yeah, I believe it's the 17th. Steam says the 16th,
No,
but
when
I
it
think
first-
it's...
when it
Oh,
first
I
came out.
don't know when it first
I just
came
looked up.
out.
It's 2009 in Japan on the Wii, and then it got another release in 2010 as Tales of Graces F, and that
So
was
it
the
comes
version
out-
that we got.
So this is coming out, So January 17th. This episode, you people out there in listener land that are listening to our sultry voices here, getting you all moist with anticipation for the wonderful things coming out this year. What? Hold on. What?
Why'd you have to say it like that?
You are an adult man. You can
yeah,
hear the
okay,
word
and I
moist
can
and not
and
groan.
I can hate words.
Yeah, you'll be all right. It's
Can't
the
wait
people.
for
It's
you
the
all.
people listening, Travis. It's your fault. You're the one. getting
Can't
them
wait
moist.
for everybody to get all frothy listening to us talk.
Yeah, froth and moist, waiting for Tales of Graces F. So if you're listening to this, you're probably listening sometime after January 14th. This should be, if you're listening on the 14th, in 3 days, Tales of Graces F is coming out, a remaster on consoles. And looks like PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, and coming out on Steam. So if it's something you're interested in, gonna be there. You can play. Travis will be playing it.
Most definitely.
So your all's JRPGs that you brought up. So Lunar and Tales of Grace. What separates those for you all from just the other JRPGs? Like, why are you excited about those particularly? And if you guys want to lead, Cody, if you guys want to talk about Lunar first.
I could pop in on that. I've owned, Eternal Blue at one point on Sega CD. I ended up selling it again, but I have Eternal Blue still on PlayStation 1. Those games are like, they even though they were like remakes, I guess, even at that point they were remakes, they're still kind of like dated. So I'm excited about some quality of life changes. I'm really hoping for some maybe like sped up battles, different kind of ratios for experience or whatever. Maybe you can change that sort of thing, like the Pixel Remaster. And the big thing is I've never played through Eternal Blue. Like I've started it a couple of times and never made it very far into it.
No,
so
is
when I
that
pick it up, that's the second
Eternal
one.
Blue, is that the other name?
That's the
for Lunar,
second
or is
one.
it-
It's the
Okay.
surname of the second one.
Yeah, so it's like Lunar, the Silver Star, and Lunar,
yeah.
Eternal Blue. And so I've actually never played through Eternal Blue. And when I get this, even though I absolutely adore Lunar Silver Star, I just recently played through it not too long ago. So I want to skip it and go straight to Eternal Blue and start playing through it with hopefully some good quality of life upgrades, and so I can enjoy the spectacle of whatever they've done to the graphics. So pretty stoked for it.
That's about what I was thinking on them. Just wanting to see if they can upgrade the graphics, maybe touch up the animated cutscenes, make them a little more crisp, because PS1, as good as it was a little bit foggy on some of those.
A little compressed.
Yeah. But I mean, the scenes in it was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm wanting to see those in HD.
Travis, what about Tales of Graces?
Really, the biggest thing is just ease of access. That game was only available on PS3, and PS3 is a little outdated at this point. But it wasn't available on like Steam or anything like that, or any type of like PC equivalent. So you had to have a PS3 in order to play it. So the ease of access is a huge thing. Really, just the game already looked pretty on PS3. So if they just kick it up into 4K resolution, there's not much else that game really needed. But the fact that it is going to be a sort of complete edition that has all the original DLC and stuff like that with it, which was mostly costumes, but just it's nice to have everything in one solid package, ready to go, ready to play, and I can access it from modern technology.
Yeah, actually, I want to capitalize on that too and mention that that's a great point, dude. Ease of access is a big one for Lunar too, because it kind of sucks to go back and try to get into these things. It's not like you can just randomly pick it up on any other kind of store right now. It's you are emulating if you're playing this game unless you have a hard copy, and so that'd be really lovely. And then the same thing with the Tales thing. That's exciting for me because it's like I might have that game on PS3, but at this point, you know what? I don't want to play it on PS3, so I want to play it on a little more modern system.
Yeah,
So I don't want those load times.
I wonder how many people just thought if their phone alarm was going off.
Oh yeah, sorry. Dude, it's absolutely
I thought mine was. I picked it up and looked. Like, wait a second. I'm good. You're good.
I actually just went and marked Lunar for my wish list on my PS5.
Well, that's awesome. Any last things you guys want to add about those two before we move on?
Hope Bamco doesn't mess this one up like they messed up Tales of Symphonia.
I'm thinking that I'm going to champion this version regardless, because there's I bet there's going to be some drama with it because I don't think they end up getting the working designs licenses for things. So I get to be a white knight for it. I'm pretty excited about that.
What they do with Tales of Symphonia, Travis?
That's a whole video. That's
a whole other episode of podcast.
That's a whole other episode of something
give me the elevator pitch because I want to know. Give me real short elevator pitch.
Tales of Symphonia was originally released on the Nintendo GameCube, and it ran at a beautiful 60 frames per second, but the GameCube sold horribly, so Bamco, in their infinite wisdom, decided, what if we released it on the PS2? This thing sells great, but the game's going to run a lot worse. They're like, whatever. So they put it on the PS2, sells like absolute garbage, because of course it does. It runs like garbage. So years later, they do the PS3 re-release, which is based on the PS2 port, which is a terrible port, so it runs awfully. And then they started putting it on everything else, like Steam, PS4, and all that other stuff, and it's all based on that PS2 port. And it's a bad port, and it ruins the game.
It's Travis. I was really excited about that game, and then I saw how much ire was out there for that port. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm good, and so I didn't even bother.
That's my favorite game of all time. Lore drop for old Travis here. Tales of Symphonia is my favorite game of all time. So to see it get such poor treatment boils my blood to a whole new level.
Well, hopefully we'll see a better Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, what you got?
Oh, my turn. Yay.
Your turn. Because Cody and Lee kind of double teamed one. Travis made some people frothy and moist. And now what do you got?
A game I'm actually excited for is called The Midnight Walk. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it comes out. It just says 2025 so far. I'm really excited for it. It's
What is
based. It's actually it's an adventure game. It's actually created by one of the guys from another game that I played called Lost in Random. And
Ooh.
the game is fully created in claymation.
Oh, this looks creepy.
Yeah, it's very like
What's it called again?
Tim Burton. It's called The Midnight Walk.
You know what it reminds me of? Like I'm looking at some of these stills from it. It reminds me of. Do you remember? I know if people are our age, if nerds our age are listening to us, everybody's going to get a cold, some sort of reaction to this name, Salad Fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is what this reminds me. Those old David
Yeah.
Firth animations, Salad Fingers, the Spoilsbury Toast Boy, that stuff.
Yeah, all the scenes and characters are supposed to be made in claymation, and it looks really cool.
This is
I'm really like the artistic style they did with it. But you play as they call the burnt one. It's a little they claim a lantern creature named Pop Boy, and you're going on a midnight walk. You're venturing through this world.
It
really
is very
excited for it.
Nightmare Before Christmassy too. A little bit of
Just added that to my wish list.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm really excited for it.
So you played another game by this team?
Yeah, Lost in Random.
Okay.
It was the one where they you did dice rolls for how you got your power ups. Like depending on what the dice roll you did in combat, you had they called him Dicey. It was a little dice with legs that followed you around, and you would pick him up and throw him and roll, and you would be able to get a power up, like a weapon or a spell or something, depending on what you rolled on the dice. It was a really cool game. I really enjoyed Lost in Random.
It was. I need to get back to play it because I own it and I played through the first hour of it.
Oh yeah,
I really, really enjoyed that hour, but other stuff came up and I just moved on or whatever. But I really want to go back and play it because that game was great.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. It looks terrifying.
Oh yeah. I love the art style. Absolutely creepy. That's Lost in Random was similar. Lost in Random wasn't as creepy, but it had a similar vibe to it, and it was a really good game. You have to beat it, Travis, because the ending is actually really good. And they've got another Lost in Random coming out called Lost in Random: The Eternal Dice.
Now, Aaron,
okay.
Yeah,
Aaron, is this supposed to be a horror game, or is it just like?
No, it's just an adventure,
like a dark fantasy adventure, like set in this like kind of a grim, creepy environment.
Yeah,
like, it's not scary in and of itself, right?
Yeah, no. To my understanding, it's just got that creepy atmosphere vibe. It's not actually supposed to be a horror game. It's just an adventure game.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say adventure action game, but it's just an adventure game.
Yeah, it looks really guys. Everybody, if you're into like the cutesy, scary stuff, and you're not familiar with Midnight Walk, I highly suggest you go check out Midnight Walk because this seems like this is right up.
Yeah.
Anybody who ever fully punched a Hot Topic gift card when they were in their teens, go check this game out because I'm looking at this.
And the predecessor, really cool. Go check out Lost in Random too. I think it's available on pretty much all modern consoles.
And there's no date for Midnight Walk?
No, not yet. They just said 2025 is last I heard. So
okay. All right, cool. As far as me, if we're continuing with games, now I'm mad at them right now. I'm very mad at Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, but the Pokemon Company, because of a certain lawsuit they are embroiled in. But Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out this year, and I'm mad hyped for that. Anybody that played Legends Arceus, that game, Legends Arceus, has been my favorite Pokemon game released to date. I remember when Elizabeth got it for me. I hadn't played a Pokemon game in a while, and I'm a massive Pokemon fan, but I'd just been removed from the actual gaming side of it. I didn't play Sun and Moon. I didn't play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I skipped Gen 8. or skipped Gen 7 and didn't play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I heard about Arceus and that was coming out. And it was mine and Elizabeth's anniversary, and she asked me what I wanted for my anniversary or for our anniversary. I said, grab me that game. I think that looks neat. Looks like it's overworld, actual throwing the ball and catching. And 400 to 500 hours of gameplay done later, I finally, put Legends Arceus down. But Legends Arceus, if ZA builds on what they did with Legends Arceus, that game made me, I was doing in that game what I felt like I was doing when I was a kid playing Red and Blue.
You were being the very best.
Like I was hiding in the grass. I was throwing a ball at Pokemon to catch. Like you had overworld catching mechanics. It was the first time in the history of Pokemon they had overworld catching mechanics, which, now those mechanics are a product of ire with poor pocket pair. But, they had these big rich environments. You saw the Pokemon out running in the overworld, and not in the sense of like Pokemon Go or, Let's Go Pikachu or what Sword and Shield did, where, they were there, but you were still getting into those turn-based battles immediately. But with this in the overworld, you could just catch the Pokemon like right there. You were hunting them, you were dodging them. Like it had Dark Souls mechanics, it had dodge roll mechanics to it.
I also appreciate any game that has a good craft system, and I really appreciated the fact that you could just craft your own Pokeballs. Yeah, that was so neat and like so immersive. I feel like is the right word to use there, because it really put you into this thing of like, let me go find this Pokemart and buy like 30 of them. It's just like, no, I actually have to find materials and make these Pokeballs if I want to catch anything.
And so I'm really hoping Legends ZA, because Legends ZA is based in Lumiose City. The entire game takes place in Lumiose City. Any of you guys play Gen 6 X and Y?
I was going to ask, is this game set to like... Because there's a really big event I know that like happens at the end of X and Y. Is this game hopefully going to give us context to that?
We're not sure right now.
Okay.
So Lee, I heard you say you played it. Aaron, Cody, what'd you guys say?
Yeah, I did. I played X.
Me too.
No, I don't know if you remember, but Scarlet Violet, I guess Arceus Legends was the first one I'd played since Blue and Red.
Yeah. But this game, Legends ZA, is set entirely in Lumiose City, the main city in Kalos, which was the region for X and Y. It seems like it's going to be based around Zygarde. So Zygarde was the trio for Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, and we never really got, because Gen 6 famously did not have a third game. I think it's been the only game that didn't have some type of like either third or sequel, right? Because Black and White had Black and White 2. You had Yellow with Red and Blue. You had Crystal with Gold and Silver. You had Emerald with Gen 3. Gen 4, we had Platinum. 5, we had Black and White 2. 6, we had nothing. We had X and Y, and that was it. So we didn't get a Zygarde game. And Zygarde in the lore is this kind of imperfect dragon that kind of is coalescing himself back together. I'm not getting deep into the lore of it, but there's different forms of Zygarde. You have these like 0% form and the 5%, 10%, 50%, or whatever. And
they kind of is putting himself together. Pokemon Go, yeah.
You get the Pokemon Sun and Moon had him in it. That was the first time that he was available. He wasn't even available in his own generation. So yeah,
I don't remember that.
It's exciting to be able to see the story of Zygarde hopefully be explored. And this is supposedly taking place around the building or like the rebuilding of Lumiose City. We still don't know whether it's in the past, like Legends Arceus was, where, it was really cool in Legends Arceus where we saw the ancestors of the Diamond and Pearl characters from Hisui, or the ancestors of a ton of different characters in Hisui. So we don't know if it's going to be like contemporary times or if it's going to be future or past. We know it does take place entirely in Lumiose City, and it hopefully will just build on those mechanics that Legends Arceus did. So I'm hoping for a more robust crafting system, like you said, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing back the shiny sound. So overworld shinies from Legends Arceus, where it makes the shiny sound. That was part of some leaks, but that's coming back, which is a godsend. I'm so excited.
Are they doing a multiplayer system with this one like they did with Scarlet
We
Violet?
don't know. Dude, they dropped an announcement trailer a year ago and have said jack shit else since.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about Nintendo.
The only information we've gotten, hopefully we get some information on Pokemon Day when that's coming up. And Pokemon Day this year is Pokemon Day 2025. Is going to be February 27th? February 27th is Pokemon Day. So hopefully we get some more information then. But if it's anything like Legends Arceus and it builds on those systems that Arceus implemented, it could be. And I'm really hoping for multiplayer, like at least something like expand on the Scarlet and Violet system.
Yeah, that was the only thing I didn't care about Arceus is it was essentially just a single player game. Like I couldn't even battle you guys or do anything. We just traded.
Yeah, you couldn't. You could only trade in Arceus. There was no.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. They added some extra stuff. They added some extra content after the patch. Like there were like this kind of pseudo battle frontier thing where you could battle Arceus, and then they had like every Pokemon in the game had its own challenge, like its own battle challenge, which I thought was really cool. So it gave you a reason to level up, like a Wurmple, or Cody had the Enforcer, his shiny Wurmple that he was using there.
It was level 100.
Yeah, and you could use a Wurmple had its own battle challenge, right? And not to mention Wurmple, but Silcoon, Cascoon, Dustox, Beautifly, they all had their own battle challenges. It's really neat. I really hope the battle mechanic, the swift style and heavy style or whatever it was.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm hoping those don't come back.
It was cool.
Yeah.
You tried it out.
You tried. You didn't do well.
Yeah, you tried it. It was swing and a miss. It's all right. Rare miss by the Pokemon Company, but yeah. So we got a trailer last Pokemon Day. We got a trailer in February, last February 27th of 2024, and we've got nothing since. So that is what I'm excited about.
Mentioned Pokemon Day, and it actually kind of reminded me of something that hopefully this year, even though we've been waiting for like 7 years, hopefully this year we hear something about the new Digimon story game, because we have been in such a drought on that game for years now, and they keep telling us it's in production, and God, I hope it is. As Digimon fans, I can't say we're not eating well. The Digimon Liberator's been doing really good. This is a whole other tangent.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, man. I was talking to Nathan about putting up those posters at the store. He was like, we had some Digimon ones that looked really nice, and then Pikachu and Charizard came along. We were like, oh, sorry, Digimon characters I don't know.
Yeah,
sorry, Digimon, the big boys are coming.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, they're too big to fail. Pokemon's too big to fail.
Apparently,
the largest. It is what the largest entertainment franchise, the largest media.
It's the largest IP in the world.
Yeah, the largest IP in the world. That's what I
was trying to say. Like, it makes me want to, run my nails down a chalkboard or whatever, or stick splinters under my fingernails. But it's actually the best-selling RPG of all time, too.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, Arceus is the closest I've come to buying a new Pokemon game. It looked awesome.
Somewhere out in the world, as Lee expresses that it's the world's best-selling RPG, you just hear a whole bunch of weebs just groan in congruity with one another.
Man.
But what about Stellar Blade?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's one of those things where I think it's kind of like people forget it and people just kind of ignore it sometimes when they're talking like best-selling RPG franchises.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, Final Fantasy, and it's like, no, not hardly. Because it's kind of, it reminds me of like the conversations people used to have between like who won this generation? Was it the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360? And it's like, The Wii,
Wii.
smoked it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that doesn't count. Pokemon doesn't count for RPGs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
But
it
no,
does.
it's the best selling, man. It's
Well, that's like
100% an RPG.
I was listening to something the other day and they were talking. They made a really good point, and I think I've made this point before. Is that like ask anybody? Like it doesn't matter where you work. You know, I've worked a bunch of different jobs. I've been a bouncer. I worked the mines. You know, I work in healthcare now. I've always been in nerdy stuff. And and I've talked to my coworkers about these things. Now, when you get into like blue collar work or things that you don't associate, hey, there's a lot of nerdy people there. You know, sometimes when I talk to my coworkers about this, they look at me like I got six heads. They're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But it never failed. If I mentioned Pokemon, everybody knew what Pokemon was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether you know all the Pokemon or not, you knew what Pokemon was.
Yeah, either you have played it or you have a child
Yeah.
or a cousin or whatever. You know, you have kids that play it.
That was a high school experience for me, you know, being the Pokemon nerd that I was in high school. And I remember because I was also a band kid, so I had to interact with the jocks every now and again. And the way that I got along with them was because they all played Pokemon. They were just like, oh yeah, anytime we go on like trips, we do away games or whatever, all of us are back in the back playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we got something common.
All right, let's move on. I want to turn this into the Pokemon episode. We will do a Pokemon episode at one point. Let's see how this friggin' lawsuit comes out. You're evil, Pokemon Company. Leave Pocket Parrot alone. But them later. All right, who wants to go next? Lee, Cody, let's go back to you guys. You want to split up or you tag team it again?
It's up to you, man. I'll do a show next, so go ahead, Cody.
I was going to do a book.
All right, do a book, nerd.
I still got video games to talk about.
That's fine. You can.
I've got it's called Never Flinch. It's by Stephen King.
Ooh,
Okay.
It's supposed to come out May 27th this year. It's a continuation of Holly Gibney's story.
What's that?
She is a private detective, investigator, whatever, PI.
Mm-hmm.
I think came out in the End of Watch series. What's his name?
End of Watch?
I'm trying to remember there's another detective that she worked with.
Dirk Gently.
Bunch Nicely.
No, it was in like End of Watch. If It Bleeds.
Is it Hodge? Something Hodge? Mr. Mercedes?
Mr. Mercedes, actually, yes. Mr. Mercedes, yes, actually.
All right, so that was the detective she worked with. So Holly Gibney is a PI in Stephen King.
Yeah, it was like the Mr. Mercedes series, and then End of Watch was the end of the Mr. Mercedes series, and then she went into The Outsider and If It Bleeds. I can't remember if those are set, whatever.
So are these all are these all about her?
She's loosely connected in all of them. None of them are specifically about her, but she helps in the main story. She did get a more recent book that just released last year that was just about her. It was just called Holly. Okay. I've actually not read it yet, so I need to read it too. But this one is, again, she's not the main focus of it.
Okay. She's just a recurring character that's kind of popping up through. I like that.
Yeah. And that's, this one is, the general idea is there is a letter sent to a police department that all it basically says is, I'm going to kill 13 innocents and 1 guilty as an act of atonement for the needless death of an innocent man, which is a wild statement to start with, but but it's actually about the detective that receives that letter. That's their name is Izzy James, and Izzy receives this letter and she doesn't know what to do with it, so she ends up calling Holly for help. So that's all I know about it. But honestly, I typically like his detective style stories, even if there's like a supernatural going on with them. They're usually really good. So I'm hoping for good stuff here.
Now, is there typically like a supernatural element when Holly Gibney's added in? Sorry if my hoodie just rubbed against my mic. Is there typically a supernatural element to these stories when it involves Ms. Gibney?
Most of them have had, yeah. Like The Outsider was the most recent one I read, and it involves a guy that's in two places at the same time, like actually video recorded in two places at the same time, and it's the same man. So there's supernatural stuff going on in that one specifically. I know Mr. Mercedes, I think there ends up being some. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I read those.
That sounds familiar. Mr. Mercedes, when I was kind of quick Googling to help us pull the name of the detective, that sounds really familiar. Now, have there been movies made about the Mr.
Yeah,
Mercedes?
there is a Mr. Mercedes series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an Outsider series as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you much about him, but I remember watching some of them.
I didn't watch the Mr. Mercedes series. Outsider was decent. I think it's on Max.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're just excited because you're excited about Stephen King book, or you've read most of the other Holly Gibney stuff?
I've read most of Holly's stuff. I think there's like one or two that I've missed, but yeah, it's mainly Stephen King stuff. But I'll probably end up reading all of his stuff.
And when does this come out?
May 27th. Actually has a release date.
All right. Anything else? Anybody want to add anything to that, or Cody, you got anything else you want to say about it?
Nothing yet.
Excited about a book, like a big nerd.
Ooh.
Always am.
I did find a comic series this past, like right at the tail end of last year. I have the first volume of it. I haven't started reading it yet. I have the first volume of it. It's called Monstress, and it immediately caught my eye, mainly just due to the art on it was really, really good, but the story behind it was really, really interesting. Let me find the synopsis of it.
Sorry, Holly came out in 2023, and then he had You Like It Darker last year. It's a short story collection, but
let's see here. Yeah, what a synopsis for this. The synopsis on Image Comics website is steampunk meets kaiju in this original fantasy epic for mature readers as young Micah risks everything to control her psychic link with a monster of tremendous power, placing her in the center of a devastating war between human and otherworldly forces.
That sounds amazing.
If it says anything, there's on the volume that I have, well, I can't see it from here, but there's a quote from Neil Gaiman on there, and it's just this glowing review of the series. And I was like, well, if Neil Gaiman likes it, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
And Gaiman's had some fall from grace lately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I just remembered, Josh, the Bill Hodges that you said, that's the actual detective's name. Mr. Mercedes was the book.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. You said Bill Hodges, and I was like, But yeah, no, that's right.
So, Travis, your story's about a young girl with a psychic link to a kaiju?
Pretty much, yeah. Very, it's got a very eldritch horror, that Victorian Gothic, Bloodborne-y kind of feel to it. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's the art alone will do it for you. Because
when's the new stuff for that come out?
I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately, because like I said, I just found out about it. And I just got volume 1. It looks like there's a volume 9 that came out in November of last year. So it seems to still be an ongoing series, as far as I can tell.
Wasn't there a movie like that? Colossal? With Anne Hathaway?
Not sure.
Yeah. She went to a certain part of the park, and she controlled a kaiju with her movements every time she was.
I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't seen the full film. I've seen clips.
Yeah, like Facebook Reels.
That was the first thing I thought of when I mentioned that.
Yeah, 2017. I can see it. Yeah. it's the original idea of a young woman mentally connecting with a kaiju, like Mothra or Penny Parker or Monstress or Colossal.
Oh, Penny Parker, you say? Oh, it's funny you mentioned Penny Parker. Can I go into my next thing?
You've done like 3, Travis. I thought you just did your next thing. No,
what?
Absolutely.
No.
Go for it. No, Monstress was just something Travis wanted to talk about for 10 minutes.
I talked about it for 2 minutes. I'm going to slap you the next time I see you.
I'm watching the timer.
Yeah. No, my next big thing, which came out at the tail end of last year, so this is a thing that's already out, but it's really going to get rolling here in 2025. And if you've missed it, it's a game called Marvel Rivals, which is essentially, it's another hero shooter. If you're familiar with Overwatch, it's the same style of gameplay as Overwatch, but with all Marvel characters. And holy crap, did NetEase blow this game out of the water. This game is fan-freaking-tastic. It's so good. I was just looking, to give credit, I've got about 74 hours in Overwatch 2. God knows how many hours I had in Overwatch 1. And I've got, I think, 68 hours. Yeah, I've got 68 hours in Marvel Rivals. This game dropped December 6th of last year. So not too long ago. It's a month old now. And I've already put 68 hours into this game. And it's brilliant. Season 1 begins January 10th. So it'll have already been going for a couple of days by the time you guys hear this episode. But for the first part of it, we're getting Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, for the first part of the season. And then during the second part of the season, we're getting, I can never remember his last name. We're getting The Thing, Ben. What is his last name? Grimm. I can never remember that. And then we're getting Johnny Blaze, the Human Torch.
Yeah, one of our friends, Zach, was like, yeah, they're getting Ben Grimm in there. And I was like, who the heck's Ben Grimm? And it took me a moment. He was like, The Thing? Oh, yeah.
This season's also really cool because the theme of this season is the Eternal Night. So this whole season is themed around Dracula and vampires. I'm pretty sure there's a Wolverine skin, if the leak that I saw is to be believed. There's a Wolverine skin in the Battle Pass that just turns him into Van Helsing, and it looks so good. It looks so good. But yeah, I'm incredibly excited to see what happens with Marvel Rivals because, I mean, this game blew all my expectations out of the water. I'm not a multiplayer person. I actively want to play this game. I've not even been playing any other games. It's just been Rivals.
And we've had a few game nights. I think we streamed it on the YouTube a while back, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, we had so if you guys go to our YouTube, you'll see we had a Hills Have Nerds game night where I think it was me, Aaron, Travis, and a bunch of us. We played Marvel Rivals. We had a blast. It's been a lot of fun. I too, I'm not like a shooter guy, but I enjoy it when it's us as friends doing it, and it was a lot of fun. And plus, it helps I can play as Captain America.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when they put Dark Claw and some of the what were they called? Amalgam.
The amalgam characters.
Yeah. They put
they're scraping the bottom of the barrel and they start throwing those guys in there.
Hey, Hitmonkey has been confirmed for this game.
This seems like a Hitmonkey game.
The Concord Reddit says that it's not very good. So.
Yeah, I seen a video that was talking about the Concord Reddit, and there was all 12 of them there was very upset.
Poor Concord. That game just didn't get given a chance, man.
There are finally some Overwatch people. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. This game is completely free. A bunch of the Overwatch people, I guess, have finally abandoned ship and decided to come over. And man, some of them are just in there to just boil your blood. The toxicity is, oh my god!
I had chat turned off. I turned it off. I don't even listen to that. I ain't got time. I'm pushing 40. I ain't got time for any of that. I got time to listen to none of that.
No, I hit gold 3 the other day, mostly just to get I think every season they're going to have a different. If you hit gold 3 in the competitive, there's a gold skin that you'll get for like whatever hero is of that season. This season, which is technically season 0, is Moon Knight, and Moon Knight's a big one for me. But I hit gold 3, and you just have to hit the bottom of gold. But I'm nowhere near. If I really wanted to, I still have. Let me think here. 4 or 5 more ranks to go. Like not counting the in between ranks, but like 4 or 5 more to go to like be the top of to be the cream of the crop.
So you heard it here. Travis is leaving the Hills Have Nerds to pursue his dream of professional Marvel Rivals player. We support Travis, everything he's done. He will still be editing, as none of us know how to do that.
Oh, so that's how you get rid of me. I see how it is.
Anybody else want to add anything to Marvel Rivals?
Cool game. Try it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's free. What do you got to lose, right? Lee, have you played it?
Yes, I had a very poor experience with it, but I set myself up for failure on it. Basically, I played a very toxic game before I went in to play this game. Was not really wanting to play at the time. People were like, "Come on, man, let's play it." And I said, "Okie dokie." So I logged in, had a miserable time. Didn't even do the tutorial. I mean, I set myself up for failure. Had a miserable time with it. So,
I like hero shooters. Sorry, go on, Josh.
No, I like that Lee can admit that, because you get that sometimes. Like, I know all of us have probably shown a friend a game that the friend wasn't ready to embrace it fully or to actually give it the old college try, and then they come out of it going, "Well, I didn't like that." Well, dude, you didn't try. Like, you didn't like give it a chance, so you can at least be self-aware enough to acknowledge, "Hey, I didn't give this a good shake."
Oh yeah, like I'm actually blown away by the fact that it's free, because they're going to make some money with that
They've
game.
made like 60% of their incomes came from Travis.
Yeah. But the thing that I was going to say was, like, anyone who's never played a hero shooter before, it's a cluster. I mean, it's a lot to take in all at once.
Fast.
I mean, I had 500 and something hours on Team Fortress 2, and then I also played Overwatch a lot, and then I played this, and I was like, "Yeah, just not right now. Maybe some other time." But again, I just went in just rough. It was a bad experience. I was just like, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I don't care to learn. me.
All right, well, Lee, what do you care about? What's coming up next for you that you're excited about?
Castlevania Season 2, man. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 comes out January 16th, and I can't freaking wait for it.
Castlevania what? What is Castlevania, for those that may not know?
Lord of mercy. Castlevania is...
what is the version of Castlevania that you are talking about? It's like, I know you're talking about a show. If you're listening to this, Castlevania is a series of games where somebody fights Dracula. There you go. Google it. We'll do an episode on it at some point. What is the version of Castlevania you're talking about?
So Nocturne is the story of, is it Richter? I think it's Richter Belmont.
Richter. Yeah, it's Richter.
It's Richter Belmont, and I don't want to say too much because there's spoilers, but Richter Belmont and Maria Renard, as they are doing their story, they're part of the story in the Castlevania series. And so season 2 will capitalize a little more on that. At the end of season 1, there's a huge reveal that like 10 seconds before the end of it. And so season 2 will show you a lot of that. And I'm very, very stoked about it. It's kind of the story that happened with, what was it? It's not Bloodlines. No, it was Rondo of Blood. Yep, Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. That area, that timeline there for Dracula coming back. It's that
French
story.
Revolution era.
So this is debuting on when?
Netflix, January 16th. If you haven't watched season 1, there's still time to watch it. But I mean, like at this point, it'll already be out. Yeah,
it's coming out. You got 2 days.
It's lovely.
I started watching it when a little bit after it released, the first season of it, and I was like, I really liked the first Castlevania show on Netflix. And I was watching this and I was like, I don't know if they're going to do it as good. And then the more I watched, I was like, all right, what's the next episode? I'm ready.
Yeah. So, and the sell for me, like I just love Castlevania, dude. I'm going to basically try everything that has its name attached to Castlevania. But my friend had watched the entire season of it, and he said, dude, he's like, at first I didn't think it was as good as the other Castlevania show on Netflix, which I admit the first part of it wasn't. But then he was like, the last, 10 minutes of the last episode makes it all worth it. I was like, how's that even possible? And then that happened. And I said, oh my, like mouth agape, dude. I'm stoked.
So, it's animation, right? It's not live action.
Yeah, it's anime.
Yeah.
It's beautiful too, dude. It's
beautifully
it's
I've been
gorgeous.
wanting to watch it. I haven't watched any of the Castlevania stuff on Netflix, and I need to. Me and my son love that
Missed
stuff. We need to watch it. So, as of this episode coming out, if you're listening to this on the 14th, your stuff's coming out. The Nocturne season 2 debuts the 16th, and do they drop it episodically, or Netflix just drops everything?
It's the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. Here it is. Consume, Piggy. We know you want it. You can't wait. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Show mommy how piggies eat.
They know me so well.
Show mommy how piggies eat. That's our tagline for the show, boy. Show mommy how piggies eat. That's great. Netflix knows what we want. It knows what we need.
I don't know if that statement's true, but sure.
Well, I mean,
still around.
To put myself in the mood for this, I own the Game Boy Advance games, like Castlevania Game Boy Advance games, and then I bought the collector's edition for they came from Limited Run for the Game Boy Advance games, and then I was like, I don't really want to open that, so I recently bought the digital version of those Game Boy Advance games. So I bought those games 3 times, and I was just playing. I just finished up Circle of Moon recently to kind of get myself ready for it. So excited!
I watched you finish that on your stream.
Awesome. Do you recommend? I've always wanted to check out the GBA games because I have a very limited experience with Castlevania. My favorite was Dawn of Sorrow on the DS.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude. I would check if you haven't played Symphony of the Night. That'd be the first one I would suggest you go to.
I've played about like halfway through it. I definitely need to sit down and finish it one day.
I think from my experience so far, the DS games. Dude, I bet you would really enjoy Order of Ecclesia. Honestly, on the DS. So that's available too. I think it's like $20-$25 for the Dominus collection, which is the DS.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah. Order of Ecclesia. I'll check that out.
Yep, I'd recommend those. The Game Boy Advance ones are a little more archaic. Is that the word I'm looking for? They're just kind of dated. And it feels like a good mix, though, of Symphony of the Night and the original Castlevania games, because it's pretty freaking hard at times.
Oh, okay. Give that a look.
But I hate for you to go in like me on Marvel Rifles.
Give it a good try.
I generally it's really hard for me to not like something. It has to be pretty terrible for me to not like it.
Now I understand why you like us.
We gotta be pretty awful for you to not like. We're trying. We're giving it hell, but Travis is still here.
I gotta try harder.
Travis is like the dog you throw rocks at. It just keeps coming back. Get out of here. I'm not good enough for you. And he keeps coming back. You beautiful, beautiful soul. Travis is too
don't
good for
have
us.
to chain him in the basement. Gotcha.
Side note, you mentioned Lost in Random, Aaron and Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Is that worth $3, you think?
Yes.
All righty. Thank you.
Is it on sale right now?
Yeah, it won't be on sale in when will this air? The 14th? Oh yeah, it'll still be on sale at this point. So if you're hearing this, it's on sale till the 18th on PlayStation.
There you go.
On the PlayStation Store for $2.99. So I'm gonna buy that bad boy.
Is it Moonhood? Is the developers of that? The developers of Lost in Random? Yeah.
Let me get make sure. Developer is Zoink and Thankful. It's Electronic. EA published it, but
Moonhood is the developer for
Midnight Walk.
Yes. The creator of one of the creators of Lost in Random helped with Midnight Walk, but yeah, it's not the same developers.
Aaron, so Lee kind of kicked it over to you. What do you got next? What are you excited for? What's getting you Jimmy's wrestled in a good way?
So I don't know if excited is the word I would use for this, but I'm interested in Return to Silent Hill coming out this year.
Okay. Can you?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, it's actually a live action film for Silent Hill based off of the PT.
Oh my, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's
Explain
what's
what
got
PT
me
is
interested.
for people that may not know.
The playable trailer that they came out for the PS4,
Mhm.
if I remember right. It was a demo that for a Silent Hill game they were going to come out with supposedly, and then a lot of stuff happened, and they canceled it and just deleted it from the PlayStation Store and everything. So, but everybody loved it. It was amazing.
I remember that whole debacle because I remember after they removed it from the store, people were selling their PS4s that had
That had it on
PT
for
installed on it for like thousands of dollars. And I'm like, no.
I
People are
had
crazy,
one that
man.
had it installed on it. It was
Like
like,
the same.
Supposedly it's based off of that. I don't know. Like, I'm weary about any video game movie anymore, so it's really hard to tell. But I'm interested to see how this goes.
So
Oh,
there's
what,
no-
you don't think the Minecraft movie is going to be great?
No, right? Crazy, right?
That is not for us. It's not for 40-year-old dudes. The Minecraft movie's for children. If you're one of the people on the internet and you have a goatee and you are complaining about the Minecraft movie, shut up. If you have facial hair and you're bitching about a children's movie, shut up.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
no.
So, sorry, Cody. It's actually for you, Cody. You mentioned this movie, Return to Silent Hill. Did you see that there is I guess this is something to be excited about. It came out today, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called John Romero. Was John Romero a zombie? George Romero.
Yeah.
George A.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Romero's Resident Evil, dude. He was supposed to create a Resident Evil game at some point, and they did like this
Movie.
yeah, like a documentary about it was gonna make a movie about Resident Evil.
Um,
And so now there's a documentary that released today. I don't know what it's on, honestly, but
I was thinking about looking for it.
I got it right here. It is. So the documentary is now available to buy or rent on Amazon and Apple TV. So you can buy and rent it there. It's going to be available on Fandango, YouTube, Xbox, DirecTV, Dish Network, and Spectrum. It is $5.99 US dollars to rent and $13.99 to buy.
which is long-term rental for digital. But
that sounds pretty cool.
yeah, it's Romero was originally they actually got him to write up a script, and he got everything together and turned it in. And apparently Sony went, no, we don't like that, and then went to what's his face to. I can't remember his name, the director that's married to the Mia Jovovich to write those movies.
Paul
Anderson.
Paul Anderson.
Yeah, Paul Anderson.
They're like, this is brilliant. We don't want it. Thank you.
Greatest zombie movie director of all time. Next.
Yeah.
Bring us a guy who's going to put his wife in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
It's brilliant.
I like Mila Jovovich. No. I thought she did good in the first one. The other ones were meh.
Yeah, I agree.
But I like
The first one was an okay movie. After that,
They got procedurally worse as each one.
Yes, it did. Oh
Yeah.
boy. You know what was also kind of I thought it was fun. It was a little bit of tangent. I'm just going to mention this. We'll move on.
Uh-oh.
Was Monster Hunter that she was in.
Oh, okay.
The Monster Hunter movie.
There's a
No,
movie.
There is a Monster Hunter. I know,
unfortunately.
right?
There's
There
a
is.
movie.
Not a lot of
It's
people
bad.
saw it. It's I thought it was fun. I
And
wouldn't
you're
watch
allowed
it
to.
again.
You're 100% allowed to be wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, by all means.
That's what I'm excited for. Continuation of the Monster Hunter movies.
I caught the second half of that movie. I haven't seen the first half. I only caught the second half of it. And it was cool to see Arathalos on the big screen, but it was really weird that they were, I don't know.
The story and everything. Yeah, awful.
If you watch it, anybody out there, if you watch it, whatever high proof alcohol you prefer, keep with you. It makes it better. I don't drink that much myself anymore, but it makes it better.
I am mad at that movie. Just real quick, I'm mad at that movie because I think it's a post-credit scene and they freaking show off my favorite monster that they have ever made for this game as just a post-credit scene. So I'm angry at that movie.
Like, brace yourself for
credit
the
scene?
next one.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna get another movie.
I know it just went, but that transitions to actually one of the other things. I'm really excited about Monster Hunter Wilds
Yeah.
coming
Yeah,
out
that's why I brought
February
it up.
28th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
We
you were
all
gonna
are. We all are
Well,
excited.
it also transitioned into mine. So. But I'm also excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. So
I'm super. I got to upgrade my graphics
comes
card.
out
But
February 28th?
28th. I'm looking at the date right here. It's 28th.
I'm
That's the day
glad
after
you all
Pokemon
mentioned
Day.
that because I forgot that game was coming out this year.
It's 2 weeks after my birthday, if anybody wants to,
Yeah, there you go.
If everybody
Send
wants
your
to
birthday
forget that.
gifts in early to the Hills Have Nerds for Cody.
If everybody wants to buy Monster Hunter Wilds for Cody,
Go,
so he can
go
spread
to
it
the
to all of
future,
us.
get a download code for it, come back to the present, and then send that to Cody.
There we go.
there we go.
Lee, you excited about Monster Hunter Wilds?
Are you asking this question because
I
you know
am.
my answer?
I am.
I do not like
I don't
Monster
know.
Hunter.
What?
I do not like
Gas.
Monster Hunter.
Now hold on. I was talking to a mutual friend, a friend of the show, Johnny, who we were going to try to have on the show at some point. Johnny, if you're listening, streamer on Twitch. I'll post a link in the show notes to his stuff. Check him out. Johnny does great playthroughs. But he was talking to me, and he said that you guys got into a conversation about Monster Hunter, and he said he was worried that you were mad at him.
Oh no.
And I didn't think so, but
You mad at
he
him?
told me that you got so mad he thought you were going to cry.
Really?
No,
You cried in front of John.
I was like, that's really weird because I mean, at some point I just said, "No, Johnny, you're wrong." So,
he said Lee got so mad I thought he was going to cry like a little girl.
that's funny.
No, he didn't say that. But no, so what's your problem with Monster Hunter?
I've tried it a few times and I did not enjoy it.
Why?
I don't like having to chase the monster into the next section.
Okay.
Yep.
I kind of agree with you there. So Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ooh, you can
we're all
relate to this actually, Josh. So Anubarak, when you
Yeah.
fought Anubarak, you know how I think it was in Wrath of the Lich King, in that dungeon, and regardless of what you did, he would go back under. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the down point of the fight. So you're talking about Anubarak in not Ankahet, the Old Kingdom, but the other one, the Wrath of the Lich King Ankahet dungeon. I can't remember the exact name. It's a three boss dungeon. I know the dungeon, and Anubarak is the end boss. You kill him, he's resurrected by the Lich King for the final boss of Trial of the Grand Crusader.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He
He has
50% he runs under.
Yeah, he goes underground at some point, and then you have to kill ads.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what Monster Hunter feels like to me.
Okay, and you know, I don't mind that so much.
I do not enjoy it.
Yeah. What do you guys think, Aaron, Cody?
I'm okay
okay.
with it.
I'm okay with it, but I would rather it be kind of like Monster Hunter World. So Wilds might end up being similar. I kind of doubt it, but
Well, we played
where
that
you
beta.
kind of, yeah, but you never know how much they're going to change.
Yeah.
But World was you kind of had to track the monster still. Like I mean, you still pretty well know exactly where it went. It's not like you're actually tracking it. But
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you could find their footprints and then other things that's supposed to like you're tracking and actually hunting the monster, which
Yeah,
I think is kind of neat.
It makes sense for the game for me for sure because it's called Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I like boss battles. Like I'm more about the monster killer, and I get it. Like there's other games that are comparable that I enjoy, but I just don't like that one. I wish I did.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Lee wants just monsters stay here and die.
Yes, I just want to
You want
beat some
Dauntless.
booty.
Dauntless does
Just
that,
in
right?
case
Yeah,
you
you
were
have to chase
looking at it, Lee, don't buy Freedom Hunters in case you were looking at it because it's a Monster Hunter clone. I think that's what it's or Freedom Wars. Sorry, that's the name of the game.
The first ever Monster Hunter game I played was Monster Hunter World. And I played it on Game Pass. We got Xbox Live for my kids, and I was up late one night. I was like, I'm going to try a Monster Hunter game. I'd never played one. I want to try it out. Because I like the big fight, the big monsters, the big flashy, like super Asian, gameplay style where it's the big flashy moves and the giant weapons. And I love that. I love it so much. Give me over the top armor that is crazy impractical to wear. Give me a massive weapon that no one could realistically fight anything with, let alone a 60-foot lizard. Give me that. Let me go at it. And I did the first battle and I fought this T-Rex thing, and then it started limping off like halfway through the battle. And I was like, I got sad. Like, I can't do this. Like, this hurts me. I don't want to chase this thing down. Like, if it was just fight for our life, like it's me or it, cool, let's go. But it was trying to run away. Like, it was giving up, and everything in me, all the bleeding heart, tears up at the end of the cartoon when everybody learns the lesson in me was like, I can't do this. And I didn't play it again. And then I played Rise because everybody else had gotten Monster, and I was like, okay, we can play this multiplayer. I'm gonna try it out. And for some reason, I liked that. I could chase them down there and do it. But when it was by myself, bleeding heart, Josh just could not chase down the creature. I turned it off. Did not play again.
That's so funny, man. It's like they limp away, and I'm like, "Where are you going? Get back here!"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was.
Don't you run from me?
I've died to so many of those monsters way too many times to the point where I'm just like, I don't know where the freak you think you can hide, because I'm going to find you.
I just saw it as an animal, man. I saw it as an animal that I had like thrown hands with. I'm like,
I need your claws.
You find it curled up in its nest, sitting there asleep. You're like, cool. Now I can set bombs on your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this, wonder of nature that it's sleeping soundly on its own. Let me blow it up.
Haven't you learned we love playing games like Satisfactory where we destroy nature?
Oh, yeah. Cody, you still need to make a post on the Facebook with all the Satisfactory stuff that you've done.
How much nature we destroy?
We need that. The bad
Screw that planet.
What was the name of that dog in Dark Souls that it's like it's Artorias' dog?
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about? Sif, dude. Yeah, like Sif starts limping. People are like, oh no, Sif. I'm like, die, dog. Like, at that point, I'm just so frustrated. I want it to die.
So when is Monster Hunter?
February 28th.
Coming out? February 28th.
Yeah.
This is Monster Hunter Wilds, right? It was good. The beta was awesome.
Yeah.
The beta was really good. It was a little... It wasn't the most intuitive thing to get synced up with each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do a little
It's
work on
pretty
that.
common amongst Monster Hunter betas.
Yeah.
This was even bad for
It was-
Monster
Yeah,
Hunter.
I only played it for a very little bit, but I was just like, ooh, boy.
But it was fun what we got to play.
It was beautiful. Beautiful game.
Yeah.
And then the one time we wanted to fight the big monster, it wasn't around. We saw it 400 times, and the one time we wanted to fight it, it was nowhere to be found. You remember that?
Yep.
What was that thing called? I can't remember. Some kind of lightning dragon.
The lightning storm.
No, we did fight. We actually did find it and fight it, didn't we? And it killed the
Oh yeah,
crap
we
out of both. Yeah, it
killed
killed the
us
crap out of all of us.
immediately.
Yeah. I wanted to give the illusion that it ran like a coward, but no, it threw down, it killed us, no problem.
I did get to chase it away one time we were fighting something else. I jumped on its head and just flew away on it. I was like, don't worry, guys, I'll sacrifice myself.
I thought they did really good with those mechanics. The wrangling the monster from the back. Mechanics in those games, I thought those were really fun.
It's called Ray Dao, like DAU, Ray Dao.
Okay. Ray Dow. It was a big lightning
How's it
dragon
spelled?
thing.
DAU. I could be
Not the whole
pronouncing
thing.
it. Oh, REYDAU.
Ray Dow. That's got a big,
Ray
it's got
Dow,
two big
Ray Dow,
horns
I don't
coming
know.
out of it.
Yeah.
It looks like Diablo if Diablo was a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's got-
So,
Pretty cool.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's got big things sticking out of its head, like lightning rods.
Yeah.
But
And you
it
can make the
scales.
Ray Dow longsword out of it.
Yeah.
What? See, I need just impractical stuff. Giant impractical things. I love it. All
That's
right.
why,
Lee
that's why
hates
the
Monster
charge
Hunter.
blade is my favorite.
We'll move
Lee
on.
hates Monster Hunter and thinks anybody that plays it is dumb. You heard that here.
Yeah.
He also,
Listen, if you
got
don't be
into a
quiet about it, I'm
fight-
going to cry.
got into a fight with Johnny TB. Lee almost cried. He was so mad.
I was like, don't talk about video games.
No, Johnny was just Johnny was like, I think I made Lee mad. I said, Johnny, I highly doubt you made Lee mad about anything.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
if you
dude,
disagree with him, get on his Twitch and tell
Yeah.
him.
He was like, I was just having a conversation. I was kind of being obstinate. Oh, I wish you could have heard it.
Yeah. Were you there for the conversation though?
No, I wasn't. I was talking to Johnny the other night.
Oh, that's pretty funny, dude.
Yeah.
He was just, talking about it, and it was a weird conversation because he was like, I think he was trying to convince me to like it. It's like, dude, we're not having an argument. I do not enjoy it. You're not going to argue me into enjoying this game.
I understand the gameplay
taste kind of game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like I know what the gameplay is. I understand what the game is trying to convey. That does not appeal to me as a player. Yeah. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, how dare you? You have to like this game because I like this game.
It's like trying to explain, never mind.
I think that's a healthy outlook to have, Lee, to say, I understand this game. I don't care for that. Now, if you're one of the people that go, I don't like that game, therefore it's bad. That's different.
Not at all. It's like, it's huge and it looks so good. I wish I liked it.
I wish I enjoyed it. Like the Satisfactory with Cody. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know why. I can't Dead by Daylight. Can't get into it. I play every now and then with the guys, but I'm just not. I get it. It's just not my thing.
So what else are we excited for?
I mean, if we're talking, my next one technically doesn't even have a release date at all yet.
Well, hold on. I got something that's got release dates.
Okay. No, we already talked about Monster Hunter. That was yours.
Huh? That wasn't mine.
Go ahead.
Mine is the Marvel stuff. We got all kinds of Marvel stuff coming out this year.
Okay.
We got all kinds of superheroes.
Go ahead, Cody.
Done.
Mine's better. It's okay.
All right. Whatever. It's fine. I won't even talk.
I
don't want to talk anymore. You've ruined this. This is the last episode of the Hills Have Nerds. We're done.
Like, Johnny, I was in a podcast earlier and Josh got so mad. I think he's going to cry.
I can hear it through his mic.
I'm not crying.
I think he's mad at Aaron.
I'm not mad. I got something in my eye.
Somebody put tears on my pillow.
I got an inner ear infection. No, but on Marvel stuff, we got MCU. We talked about Marvel Rivals. We got all kinds of new stuff coming to Marvel Rivals this year. Marvel is having a heyday, continues to be super strong and pumping out all kinds of great stuff with that IP. We got new MCU stuff. We got Captain America: Brave New World coming out February 14th, Valentine's Day. Captain America: Brave New World coming out February 14th. We have Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts looks so good. We're gonna get Sentry on the big screen.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier and Yelena Belova, and I've wanted David Harbour's Red Guardian back since Black Widow, so we get him back.
Yeah,
we get the return of Ghost. We get John Walker's U.S. Agent, which John Walker was really good in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought they did really well with him in that. I'm excited. I'm giddy for Brave New World and Thunderbolts.
Yeah, actually, Brave New World is the one I'm most excited about right now for Marvel stuff.
Yeah, we get awesome. Red Hulk. We got Red Hulk. We get Joaquin Torres as Falcon. We get to see if Anthony Mackie can actually, carry the shield well. We can actually see if he can carry a movie. And Anthony Mackie's a great actor, man. He was awesome in what was it, Black Mirror?
Yeah,
he's been good in the MCU, but we'll see if he can handle it as a leading man in this stuff.
You know what? Really, it's probably a way of thinking about it is like, will he be able to convince people to allow him to? Because I think he has the chops for it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing, and you get that. I don't want to get into like the seedier stuff because I do it all the time. I get on my soapbox. But I think some people, there is a sect of the fandom that are not going to give this movie a chance because it's Sam Wilson. And it is what it is. But we're getting Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. We're getting the leader in. I cannot remember his name ever. He played Delmar in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Tim Blake Nelson. Tim Blake Nelson's the leader from the original Hulk with Edward Norton.
Ooh.
Remember that? The post-credit scene finally paying off, 15 years later? We're getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I'd forgot about it. He played
that. Oh, I'm super excited about that. It's going to be a big year for Marvel. And then Marvel Champions. We have our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box coming out in February for Marvel Champions. We're getting Nick Fury as a playable hero. We're getting Maria Hill playable heroes. We're getting a Yelena Belova encounter set. We're getting the Thunderbolts. I mean, going right inside when then we got Thunderbolts releasing in the MCU. It is just, again, hungry hippos, gobble, gobble, gobble. Just gimme. They know they literally are just, I should just hand my wallet to Nathan.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Gobble,
Yeah,
gobble, gobble.
Hungry, gobble, gobble, gobble. Like it's a picture of like hungry hippos, but we've crossed out the hippos and it's just hungry.
It's just hungry, gobble, gobble.
Put the green gobbler on it.
I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped for all things Marvel coming down the pipeline this year. We got new shows. We got Daredevil, Born Again. New Daredevil show this year. Like, come on. If you are a superhero fan, how do you not get hyped for Charlie Cox's Daredevil?
Yeah, Cody.
Well, he at least prefaced that with, if you are a superhero fan. So,
Yeah, fair.
What I love is that Cody begrudgingly participates in all of this with us. He played Marvel Rivals, plays Marvel Champions all the time with us. He comes and watches the movies sometimes, and then you watch them with your family. Like you participate in this,
I do.
and then you still like Daria lukewarm bathwater about it, like disaffected teenager about, yeah, sure, I'll go. Like we're the parents excited to drag you to line dancing, and you're like, oh, I gotta go because my parents are making me. We're dragging you all this.
Yeah, well, it's like Marvel Champions. I appreciate the game for its mechanics. I can sit down and have fun time playing it. I really don't care about any of the characters in it, like at all. I just don't. I was never into comics. I enjoyed the Daredevil series on Netflix, but from a more street level sense, because it wasn't exactly super, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything that I enjoy is more typically along the lines of like almost like a crime drama.
That's what I mean. Supposedly, it's what we're getting with Born Again. We're getting a because initially it was the argument was being made that the Netflix stuff was canon, because it directly mentioned the attack on New York. So Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders, those 5 shows, which is like 15 seasons of TV if you want to watch them. They are all pretty good. Iron Fist probably the weakest of the bunch, but I still liked Iron Fist.
I don't want to hear that.
Originally, those were canon, and then they weren't. And then the Hawkeye show came out, and we reintroduced Wilson Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of were canon again. Then we got Echo, and Echo threw down, or no, before Echo, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. We introduced Charlie Cox's Daredevil back into the MCU. And then we got Echo, where Echo throws down with Daredevil in probably it was the best fight scene, I think, that has been in the like MCU Disney Plus shows. The Daredevil Echo fight scene, to me, I thought it was really, really good. And then Echo was meh. It was all right. But that fight scene was awesome. And now we have, Daredevil coming back, and rumors of John Bernthal's Punisher showing back up.
That'd be awesome.
Right? Oh, dude, Bernthal's Punisher was top tier, man.
It's another name I don't want to hear.
Bernthal?
No, Iron Fist and Punisher.
Rivals.
What? Marvel Rivals. Yeah. He's gonna have his giant minigun, and the entire Iron Fist show is just gonna be Iron Fist punching a fish in the face. He'll be behind everybody, beating the shit out of a shark.
Magic's there, just get them all in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I am hyped. I am frothy and moist for the Marvel slate.
Jesus Christ!
It's called a callback, Travis. What else we got? Who else is excited for something?
I guess I can talk about mine. That was no real release date.
Yeah.
But there's rumors for an announcement for a release date for Resident Evil 9 this year.
Okay.
It's been confirmed as in development, but no real solid on when or if it's announced anytime soon. But they said, I think 3 games they were working on, and the other 2, everybody's pretty well narrowed down to a 5 remake and a Code Veronica remake.
Oh, I saw that there's a. I thought I saw confirmation today that there was a Resident Evil Part 1 remake coming.
Maybe that was another one that was, yeah, I think they were doing that too.
Yeah, which I'm okay with. Whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
So have they not already remade? Didn't they already remake Resident Evil?
Yep.
One,
it was incredible.
on the GameCube. Yeah.
So doing another remake?
Heck yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, they need that money.
Gobble, 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 baby.
Exactly.
Bring me the dead horse. I need to hit it.
Don't worry, this dead horse gets back up, and then you can kill it again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Family Guy skit with who's that author you like, Cody?
Stephen King.
Stephen King, where
How
he's
the hell
shaking.
did you forget Stephen King?
That's a good question, man.
What's that guy that does those books?
Is that one guy writes all them books?
He's shaking the lamp at the, ooh. It's like, yeah, it's fine, we'll take it. So Capcom shook the lamp at me and said, ooh, Resident Evil 1. I said, all right, man, let's do this.
Yeah, right.
Just pause for a second. Elizabeth just came by. We're recording. She came by. She told me she was going to bed. Elizabeth, what are you excited for coming out this year? She's looking at me blank. She didn't think I was going to put her on the... I'm over here and speaking to the microphone. You remember Elizabeth from our episode on Cozy Games. What are you excited for coming out this year?
See you, babies.
Yeah, right? Yeah, see? See, my wife agrees with me that they're awesome.
Yeah, somebody has to.
I'm glad you're different from Cody.
I mean, I would
Never be, as
be
good as
upset if
am.
I was the same as Elizabeth.
All right. I just wanted to put her on.
I don't want to be married to Josh. It'd be weird.
Good night. Love you.
Yeah, could you imagine all the fan art that would come out of it?
Well, the Hills Have Nerds After Dark. We're one day. One day. If you got Hills Have Nerds fan art, send it to us. Please, dear Lord in heaven. All right, so back to Resident Evil. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put Elizabeth on the spot. She's welcome.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that's been confirmed about any of it. There's a whole lot of rumors that 9 is going to end the story that started with 7 with the mold. And it's going to be Jill and Leon in the first time that they have met in a game, teaming up to go investigate the company that was originally making the Evelyn thing in 7. The mold. And Chris and Barry are rumored to be returning as support characters in this one.
Nice.
But that's really well everything that's been leaked on it. That's a possibility.
I mean, as long as we're talking about like potential, like rumored things, I mean, I'm hoping this year we hear about a potential Final Fantasy 9 remaster. See them do something with it like they did with Final Fantasy 7.
That would be awesome.
I don't think they'll do it as.
You don't think so?
I don't think they'd hit it as
hard,
big as they did 7. I think it'll probably just be
just a remaster.
I don't know if they'll do a full remaster. They may update some of it, but I don't think they'll do like the full multi-part game and all that with it. Because 7, regardless of what happens, they knew it was going to sell.
Yeah.
9, though, I think I like 9 better than 7. I don't think it would sell as well. So I don't think they'd be as ambitious in a remake on it. Just personal opinion, but
okay.
I'd love to see them do that, but I'm going to try to keep myself as realistic as possible.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, there's a big thing happening this year that I don't think anybody was expecting to happen. So, Magic the Gathering,
oh yeah,
kind of the trading card game, arguably. They've been doing a whole lot of stuff here recently. I really quickly wanted to talk. There's 2 sets that are coming out this year that I'm very excited for. The first one that drops, I think, in February. I almost want to say it's February 17th. I don't know why everything releases on the 17th. But it's called Aether Drift, and it's really interesting. The kind of the story behind it is it's like a multi-planar Mad Max style death race is the theme of the set. Yeah, no, it's insane. There's a card type in it called vehicle. They're bringing a whole lot of vehicles back, which is very exciting for me. But the set looks really cool. They're doing really cool stuff with it. But the big thing for this year, a while back, Magic started to do this thing that they call their Universes Beyond, which are these crossover sets that they do. And they've had some small ones here and there. They did it kind of got retconned into it, but the original one, they did a Walking Dead release a while back. And
they're currently doing Marvel.
Yeah, they had the Marvel one. You can no longer buy the Marvel one now, unfortunately.
Which was horse crap.
Yeah, that's
Magic the Gathering. The people that make that decision, Wizards of the Coast, whoever the hell does it. If you're listening to this podcast, which I know you do, I know you listen to us. Your secret lair release way you did it, horse manure, absolute garbage. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I want my damn Captain America cards. I didn't get it. Scalpers got them. Be ashamed.
I have that if you want it.
We'll talk later.
Okay. But so yeah, they had started doing this whole Universes Beyond thing, and the two big ones that happened was they did Warhammer 40K, and then shortly after that they did the Warhammer 40K was for their Commander format. It was just Commander decks. But then they released an actual full set for Lord of the Rings, and that's a whole other conversation because that set warped an entire format. But they've been doing some kind of here and there. They had a set called The Brothers War, which had Transformers that you could get. Like you get Optimus Prime and RC and all of them in it. The what was it called? Caverns of Ixalan had Jurassic Park cards that you could get. I'm pretty sure count in that. But this year, we're getting a Final Fantasy Universes Beyond set. It's going to be a whole set. It's not just Commander decks. As far as we're aware, it's going to be a whole set. And they've released some of the art for that already. They haven't released any card details. They've just released the art. But the art looks phenomenal. Very, very high.
I hope they do like beginner decks or whatever they're called.
I would very much like to see, because they did the beginner decks for Assassin's Creed.
Did they? I know they did for the Lord of the Rings, and they didn't do it for Clue, which I was upset about.
Yeah, they did it for Lord of the Rings.
They did do a Clue Magic the Gathering.
They did. Yeah, there was a crossover with Clue. It was for Murders at Karlov Manor was the set. And you could get actual Magic cards of freaking Colonel Mustard and Mr. Green and all of those. Such a fun idea.
It's interesting they're doing a Final Fantasy crossover. Doesn't the IP have its own trading card game?
Yep. That nobody cares about, except for the diehard Final Fantasy fans.
I remember looking at it and it looked cool. The art and stuff looked cool, but again, it's hard for me to convince myself to get into a physical trading card game. I just want the Captain America Marvel MTG set to put on my shelf. But yeah, that's interesting. They're doing that crossover when they already have their own thing.
It's June of this year is when that set drops. I don't remember the exact date. I want to say it was the 25th. June 25th was the date. But yeah, that set's going to be really exciting. The preview window for Aether Drift is coming up real soon. It's going back to an episode, or the previews and spoilers episode. Magic usually will have a preview window, and they'll essentially, leading up to the set's release, they'll run through every card that's going to be in the set. So by the time the actual set comes out, there's no excitement. You know what cards are in the set. And people can have their opinions on that. So when the preview window for that Final Fantasy set opens up, I may not be able to contain myself.
You know what you're going to be? You know what you're going to be.
I know what he's going to be.
You know, what's he going to be, Lee?
I don't want to say it. It's gross.
Gonna say it. You're going to be frosty.
I'm definitely going to be frothing at the mouth. Especially because the last thing I'll mention on this isn't just like we're just looking at like the big people of Final Fantasy. No, we have gotten confirmation. This set is going to run from the first Final Fantasy all the way to Final Fantasy 16. So characters from literally the very first Final Fantasy to the most recent are going to be included in this set in some way, shape, or form.
Typically?
It varies. Some sets are... It just varies because the actual count is insane because they count the different treatments of the cards as their own set number. So, like, if you pull this Cloud Strife card and then you pull his showcase art, it's the same card, but it's two different set numbers, which is annoying.
So we're talking like hundreds of cards or
thousands.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's it's pretty insane. Like we're talking, I would imagine that this set would probably be like, I don't know, probably upwards of like 500 unique cards. That's me just throwing out a number though.
Yeah.
But like, and when I say unique cards, I'm not looking at any special treatment. I'm looking at just, here's this card. So yeah, this is going to be a big set. And it's the first set for Universes Beyond that will be standard legal. Again, people have their opinions on that. I don't want to get into it. I don't play standard, but that's going to be a whole other thing.
Yeah, so this thing I was looking at, 200 to 300 unique cards are what's typical in the Magic the Gathering set. So across 16 games, 200, I mean, that's a lot of cards for a set.
And that's not even taking into consideration that they're probably going to hit some of the offshoots. So we're looking at things like Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, or Cerberus Final Fantasy VII.
Crystal Chronicles?
We may see Crystal Chronicles. We may see some of the stuff from the various 13s. So we know Lightning is going to be in the game, so there's a really solid chance we're going to see versions of Lightning that are from 13, 13.2, and Lightning Returns. This set's going to be big, and I'm very, very excited for it.
Well, that is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a trading card guy, but that's a lot. That's a big crossover. Two big old names, and that's a lot of content. It'd be really exciting to see the art that's put on those. I do love getting to see the art that Magic the Gathering puts out on some of their stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I think they actually have some of the like Final Fantasy artists that are coming in and doing the art for the cards. Because as far as I'm aware, it's all new art. Now, don't fully quote me on that. I could be wrong on that, but all the art that I've seen has been brand new art.
Oh, Billy!
So I'm going to try, if I remember, and I've slacked the last couple episodes of putting some links in the show notes to the stuff we talked about. So that way, all the upcoming stuff, people can go check it out, and get as excited as we are about what 2025 holds for nerddom. There's a lot of stuff, and we've only like scratched the surface. We just scratched like what's the most exciting for us individually. There's so much more out there, guys, that a whole new year brings. So many possibilities, so much stuff coming down the pipeline. We are just at 90 minutes, about as long as we typically run. I think, unless anybody has anything else to add, I think we're good to kind of start wrapping up.
Get as excited for all this as I am for the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, calm down, Cody. Calm down. People can't understand you. You're talking too fast. Good Lord in heaven.
I'm excited for you all, the listeners of this podcast, that you hopefully stick around with us for 2025.
Yeah.
We got a lot planned.
Let me mention this, man. I think it would be cool if people enjoyed this. This would not be a difficult episode to put together kind of quickly, I would think, if we could just make it as little editing as possible for Travis, and we could do this a little more often to talk about things that are coming up. Because I enjoy those conversations, honestly. And, you know, maybe if you guys as listeners enjoy that sort of stuff, maybe there's something we mentioned that you were not aware of, those coming out. Maybe we can help you out there.
Yeah, and that's some things we talked about, kind of branching out, doing a little bit more content for the podcast. You know, upcoming releases, reviews, that type of stuff, a little bit short form. If it's something you guys are interested in, hearing us and our takes on this stuff, let us know. How can you let us know, you ask? I need to tell the nerds. Well, let me tell you how you tell us. You're going to email us at heelshavenerds@gmail.com. That's heelshavenerds@gmail.com. There is no the. It's just heelshavenerds@gmail.com. You can email us there. You can come on our Facebook at facebook.com/the Hills Have Nerds. We have all kinds of conversations there. We post pictures of games we're playing. We always, we try to, post links when the guys are going live on Twitch or when we're going live with our game nights. And we have a lot of great discussions over there on the Facebook. You can join our Discord. The Discord link is going to be in the show notes. The Facebook link is going to be in the show notes. We have a YouTube. We go live on YouTube with game nights sometimes. You can come hang out, join in the conversation there. Watch us be absolutely dog water at the games we play. It's a lot of fun. Taunt us mercilessly as we taunt each other. You can also reach out to several of the nerds right here on their social medias. Lee, where can the people find you?
You can find me mostly on YouTube and Twitch. So at Pixel Bro Lee. That is not like the Dragon Ball, but Pixel Bro Space Lee, LE. On again YouTube and Twitch. I'm live Wednesdays and Saturdays at 10 p.m. and then I'm doing usually bi-weekly or weekly uploads of videos on YouTube. And I'd love to hear what you got. I'd love to talk to you folks. That's my favorite part of doing any kind of content creation, is just chatting with people that are nerds about stuff like I am.
And Cody, where can the people find you?
Mainly you can just find me in the Discord here or on Twitch at twitch.tv/coffee break lounge. And I'm generally just on Thursdays on there.
All right.
Yeah.
Aaron, how about you? Sorry, Cody, did I cut you off? Aaron, shut up for a second.
No, I'm
okay.
good.
All right, Aaron, go.
I don't know if I want to now. No, I'm
Aaron,
I'm
shut
hanging
up.
Oh. You can find me hanging around Discord and Facebook, but I also started designing and selling some stuff on a website called loot-and-garb.printify.me. You can find some stuff that I design and sell now.
Can you repeat that? Loot dot what?
It's loot.
There'll be a link. I'll put a link in the show notes. Now, this is not affiliated with the nerds. Like you're buying something from it doesn't go to the Hills Have Nerds, but you should check out his shop. Out there, we want to make sure we.
It's just me trying to make an extra buck.
Yeah, Aaron does have designs. His shirt. Now you're in that with Brittany, right? You and Brittany got your design stuff up. Yep. Go check it out. They have do shirt designs, graphic tees, decals, stuff like that.
Yep.
Travis, how about you?
You can find me around the Discord at Chocobo STO. You can also find me dying at the back line trying to heal my team of Marvel rivals under the same name.
So if you see Chocobo STO, kill him twice for us. All right,
Team
guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening. Here's to a great upcoming 2025. We're excited about what's coming down the pipeline. Excited to play some more games, get into all the nerdy endeavors that we all love. We appreciate you listening. This episode should be hitting on January 14th. January 28th, we have another episode coming out. I believe right now we're doing the history of handheld gaming, so stay tuned for that. We're going to get back into our mainline episodes for the year, and we're going to try to bring you more Hills Have Nerds content. We have some even greater things coming down the pipeline for us this year. And stay tuned. Listen to what's in store for the Hills Have Nerds, what's in store for nerddom in general. And from us, thank you all. Come back, listen to us next time. Y'all take care.